up? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're new, welcome. Please subscribe. And today's video is gonna be a story time, and it's about the time I met a fuckboy. And usually when someone gets me mad like that, I just cut them off because no, I don't need you in my life, and that's it. Anyways, so it started when I was 18 or 19, and this is when MySpace was really good and people were just starting to, you know, mingle online, messaging each other. So this guy messaged me and I saw his picture, so I thought he was cute, so I gave him a chance and started talking to him. Tell me why. He seemed really down to earth, really cool, but when I met him, it was another story. If a guy is a smooth talker, that means he's been around. Red flag, ladies. Anyways, so he wrote to me on MySpace, and we started going back and forth for like about a month or 3 weeks or so. And after that, he asked me on a date. So he's like, hey, you wanna hang out? We should go to the movies, hang out, you know, let's go on a date. So I was like, okay, cool, you know, I'll give you a chance. You seem genuine, you seem cute, and you seem cool. So I was like, all right, cool. So we decided to go to the movies, the one over in Fort City, because we both live in the south side. So he lived by Midway. He lived closer to Midway than I did. So I was like, all right, well, let's meet by the Orange Line because that's my last stop from the train. It's like, great, that's like a block away from my house. Perfect. So we decided to meet like around 12 or 1 in the afternoon on a Saturday. Yeah. So it was summer, it was hot, and the sun was out. So I took the train and I was there like 5 minutes early or something. So I got off the train, I thought he was gonna be there. So I'm looking around, no one, I don't see anyone that looks like him. So I was like, okay, let's name him, let's give him a name, let's call him Ivan. So I'm looking around and I don't see Ivan. I was like, okay, maybe he's on his way, he'll be here any minute now. No, so let me step outside. Maybe he's outside waiting for me. I step outside, nothing. So I decided to give him a call, and he's like, oh, sorry, I'm still at home, I'll be there right now, my mom, blah blah blah. He gave me like an excuse. I was like, it's cool as long as you just get here, like get here now. He's like, yeah, I just live a block away, I'll be there in no time, right? Like, okay, cool. I'm there for another 10 minutes outside. I was like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm tired at this point, and it's so hot outside that I was like, ugh. He gets there, he looks like he's 30, and he has a bald spot. It was fucking gross. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, you look beautiful, I'm sorry, my mom, this and that, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, whatever. He's like, but you know, she told me that I can take her car. I need to go back home and pick up the keys. I actually didn't bring them with me. He's like, I didn't bring them with me, so we have to go back to my house and get the keys. I was like, I don't want to go to this guy's house. He's like, okay, fine, we'll go get the car, it's cool, let's go. I'm like, where do you live? You know, I was a little iffy to go to his house just because I didn't know him and I was gonna go to a stranger's house. But I was like, oh, where do you live? And he's like, oh, it's just a block away, it's really close, don't worry. I was like, okay, all right. You know, we're just gonna go pick up the car anyways. It's not like I'm gonna go in and stay there and blah blah blah. And he's like, no, it's fast, you know, just get the car and we'll go over to the movies. I was like, all right, cool. So we start walking, and their blocks, the blocks over in Midway, by Midway, they're huge, they're long. So a block in the city is like 2 blocks over there. So yeah, it's long. So we start walking, it's hot. It's like 80 or 90 degrees. The sun is hitting us. There's no shade. So I was like, oh, I was hungry. I was getting mad. So, and what I was wearing, it was like this polka dots with some Bermuda black shorts and some little heels, like this big. Yeah. So, you know, I was looking cute, and I was like a little bit sweating already, walking all these miles. So I was like, are we almost there? And he's like, yeah, it's the next block. So we cross over to the next block, and then he's like, oh, it's actually the next block after this one. I was like, okay, anything for the car, we're gonna get the car anyway, so it's fine. So we get to his house. He's like, oh, come in, come in. I don't want to leave you outside. You know, it's really hot and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, just to the living room, right? So I walk in, I go inside their living room. It looks right, it looks all right. It's nothing fancy, it's just a living room. Okay, whatever. He's like, oh, here, let me show you around. He shows me around. We go to his kitchen, and then I was like, he's like, you wanna go upstairs? Do you wanna see my room? I was like, no, I'm fine. Just go get the keys. And he's like, oh, you're right, let me get the keys. So I wait in the living room. He goes, he's running around the house, he's looking for the keys. He calls his mom because he can't find the keys. So he hangs up, he comes over, he's like, oh, my mom actually took the keys by mistake. I told her not to, but she took them. I was getting so mad, you guys. I was like, okay, then we're gonna take the bus because I'm not walking. He's like, it's not far. If we walk it, it's not far. I promise you, it's just gonna be like a block away. We'll be there in no time if we walk it. I was like, no, we're taking the bus. And he's like, no. Like, I promise you, it's gonna be just a block away. I'm thinking, your house, you told me your house was a block away. Your house is like 3 blocks away. So we walked a long distance and it's hot outside. I was like, no. He's like, no, for real. I'm like, okay, fine, we'll try it. So tell me why. We start walking. We're walking 2 blocks. He wants to take the short streets, he wants to take these small streets, and I want to take the main street just in case we get the bus. So he's like, this is faster if we take the shortcut. The small streets are the shortcuts. I was like, no, meow. I was like, no. So we start walking. We are probably 2 blocks into this walking. We started talking about him, me, getting to know each other, blah, blah, blah. And it's so hot. So I get mad. I'm like, I can't walk this. We actually have to cross the bridge now. There's no way we're gonna make it. This motherfucker, I swear, this bridge was fucking long and we're not even close to the small. He's like, yes, for sure we are. We just have to keep going. It's not even that hot. I'm starting to sweat. So we walk over to the main street and we take the bus. I'm like, no, we're taking the bus. I'm like, then I'll see you. If you want to walk it, then I'll just see you there. He's like, no, we'll go together. Why am I still on this date? Tell me why. I should have just gone home and forget about this douchebag. So he's like looking. We walk over to the bus stop, right? He starts looking on his pockets. He's like looking around. He's like, I was like, do you have a bus fare? And he's like, yeah. I remember that I have this bus pass. I was like, okay. He opens his wallet in front of me. He has no cash, but I see other like cards. So maybe he has like a bank account, like a debit card or something. But he has no cash at all. He takes out a CTA pass from some university, UIC I think it was, or something like that. So you have unlimited rides with that pass if you have a school CTA pass from a university or college. It's unlimited, right? So he takes out this pass and I look at it and I'm like, you're in college? And he's like, no, it's actually my cousin's. He let me borrow it, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, cool, I didn't think of anything at that time. I was like, whatever. Now that I think about it, that was probably his bus pass and he went to that school. You want to use some pass to get by on the bus, that's fine with me. You're saving money, whatever. He let you borrow it. I take out my CTA pass and I scan it. I go in, he scans his, we go in, we sit down. This bus ride is like 10-15 minutes. I kid you not. He was gonna make me walk that long. No. We get to the movies and we get off, we start walking. I'm annoyed already. I'm just annoyed. I'm mad that he made me walk, so I'm just annoyed. So then we get to the movies and it's like around probably like 2 already or something like that. So there's not a lot of people. It's not packed. There's like 1 or 2 other people in there. We start looking at the movies to see which one we want to see. He's taking forever. I'm like, oh, I think we should see this one. He's like, I'm like, what about that one? That one looks good. I was like, okay, well, you know, just pick one. And we did. So we approached the counter, and he's like, can I get 2 tickets for this movie? And the guy's like, okay, yeah, it's gonna be like 10 bucks or something. I was like, okay. And I look at him, I'm like, and he's like, he takes out his wallet again, and he's looking, and he's like, oh, actually, I forgot my money at home. Oh no. Do you have 10 bucks? I was like, what? This cheap motherfucker, he knew what he was doing because he made me walk, and then he expected me to pay. What the fuck? You invited me to the movies. I was like, you made me walk under the sun. It's 80 degrees. You were late to meet up. You lied to me about walking to your house so we can walk into the mall. I was like, this is bad. So I'm like, yeah, I got 10 bucks. Don't worry, I got it. So I paid. I was really mad at this point. I paid, but I really wanted to go see the movie. I mean, like, I went through all that just to go home. So I was like, I want to see the movie. So I paid for us. We go in, and he's like, oh, you want to get something to drink? You want to get some popcorn and a slushie? I was like, do you have money for that? And he's like, oh, no, if you don't want any, it's cool, you know, I was just asking. I was like, no, I don't want anything. Let's just see this movie. We go to the movies. We go, we watch this movie, whatever. So the movie ends and we leave. We start walking to the bus, and he's like, you want to walk it to my house? I was like, no, I'm gonna take the bus. And no. He's like, it's not far, and the sun went down pretty much. It's like 5 or 3 in the afternoon or something. I don't know, 4 maybe. I was like, no, I'm not walking it to your house. I'm not. He's like, okay, well, we can take the bus. I'm like, that's fine. We take the bus, and then he takes me all the way to Midway. He's like, I'm gonna take you to Midway. I'm gonna take you to the orange line so you can go home. It's like, okay. I don't care if you take me to Midway, you want to go home already. I don't want to be with you no more. This is fucked up that you're doing this to me. So he takes me to the orange line. We get up, and he's like, okay, it was a great date. I hope I get to see you again. You're so pretty, blah, blah, blah. I was like, thanks, I'll see you later. And I just walk away. I didn't care at this point. I don't care about this guy. I had a horrible experience. He goes home, I get home. He calls me, I don't pick up. He calls me again, I'm picking up. I'm like, what's up? He's like, hey, I had a great time with you. I hope we do it again. Like, I want to see you again. You're beautiful. It was a great time. I was like, yeah, we'll see. And I'm like, I'll talk to you later. And I hang up. He starts messaging me after. He's like, oh, hey, what's good, blah, blah. I don't answer. He messaged me again, la la la. I was like, no, I don't answer. And then he's like, after a while, because he kept doing it, I blocked him and I didn't talk to him again. And MySpace after that became Facebook to me. So Facebook, he never added me after I blocked him. I guess I don't know what happened to him, but it was a horrible experience. It was a horrible first experience for me. Cause yeah. But yeah, you guys, that was my time. That was the time I had a fuckboy as a date, and lucky for me, I X'd him out of my life and I never saw him again. Thanks guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.